Lufthansa Flight LH-482, a large European passenger aircraft, was gliding peacefully above the clouds on a routine flight. More than 150 passengers sat comfortably inside, families chatting softly, children sleeping against their parents, and travelers enjoying the quiet hum of the engines. Everything felt normal, calm, and safe, but that peace shattered in an instant. A sudden, violent metallic explosion thundered through the aircraft, followed by a brutal jolt that shook every seat. One of the main engines had completely failed. Inside the cockpit, red alarms flashed like lightning. Captain Armin Keller and his co-pilot fought to stabilize the swaying aircraft, but LH-482 was losing altitude fast. The passengers quickly sensed disaster. Screams filled the cabin as overhead lights flickered. But the worst was yet to come. The cabin pressure suddenly dropped and oxygen levels plunged. Passengers gasped desperately for air. Many felt dizzy, lightheaded, and weak. Some could barely remain conscious. The oxygen masks dropped down, but several malfunctioned, releasing only a faint trickle of oxygen. The flight attendants rushed through the aisles, their hands trembling but their voices strong. They unlocked emergency cabinets and distributed extra oxygen masks and portable oxygen bottles, placing them on struggling passengers. Children cried in fear, elders clutched their chests, and several people began to faint as the lack of oxygen worsened. Captain Keller realized their situation was critical. The damaged aircraft could not hold altitude for long. As the emergency distress signal was broadcast, a nearby aircraft, Air France Flight AF-709, detected it. Captain Luc Martin, flying at a similar altitude, quickly contacted LH-482 and offered immediate assistance. Understanding the severity of the engine failure and the dangerous oxygen shortage, he made the bold decision to attempt something almost never done in aviation history: a mid-air passenger transfer. Within minutes, the AF-709 maneuvered into position beside the failing Lufthansa aircraft. Flying two massive jets side by side in open sky required extraordinary skill. Both planes matched speed and altitude with perfect precision, keeping only a safe but extremely narrow distance apart. The sky thundered around them, and both pilots knew one mistake could be catastrophic. Under orders from the European Aviation Rescue Command, AF-709 deployed a pressurized mid-air rescue tunnel, a reinforced metallic tube designed for extreme emergencies. As the tunnel extended, it trembled violently against the wind. With careful alignment from both pilots, the tube finally attached LH-482's rescue port with a loud metallic lock. Pressure equalized, emergency lights glowed red, and the impossible rescue mission officially began. Inside the Lufthansa aircraft, passengers were guided toward the rescue hatch. Many struggled to walk due to oxygen deprivation. A little girl fainted in her mother's arms and was immediately carried by two attendants. Elderly passengers were given high-pressure oxygen masks before entering the tunnel. The tunnel itself shook constantly as storm winds hammered its sides. Rescue officers shouted instructions: "Hold the railing, do not stop moving." Inside the tube, oxygen jets hissed to keep the air breathable. Passengers moved through three pressure-sealed sections, each one opening only after the previous door locked behind them. Outside, clouds rushed past at terrifying speed, but inside, every second became a battle for survival. Rescue officers from AF-709 crawled halfway into the tube to pull weak or unconscious passengers through. Babies were placed into special pressure pods and transported safely. Injured travelers were strapped into emergency harnesses and guided across. The teamwork between both aircraft crews was nothing short of heroic. After 25 intense minutes, the final group made it through. All passengers had successfully transferred from Lufthansa Flight LH-482. With everyone safely on board, AF709 turned toward the nearest European airport for an emergency landing. Fire brigades, paramedics, ambulances, and rescue vehicles were already on standby. As soon as the aircraft touched down, medical teams rushed in with large oxygen cylinders.
We have injured passengers.
They treated passengers who had fainted, checked children for breathing problems, and stabilized the elderly who had suffered severe oxygen depletion. Rescue workers comforted families, assisted the weak, and ensured every life was accounted for. In the end, not a single life was lost. What could have been one of Europe's worst air disasters became one of its greatest rescue triumphs. The extraordinary courage of both flight crews, the precision of the rescue teams, and the unbreakable determination to save every passenger transformed this terrifying day into a historic moment. This event is now known as Europe's most daring mid-air rescue mission.